You want to be a part of something so bad. Say hello. Okay, you had your moment in the spotlight. Okay, anyway. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been such a long time since I last uploaded for y'all, but as you can see from the title, I've had a lot going on these last few months, so I'm so sorry, but I really plan on putting out more content. I want to change the direction of my channel, and I hope you guys can bear with me. But anyways, let's hop right into the video. So I am pregnant right now. I'm in my second trimester. I just wanted to do like a video talking about how I found out, my early symptoms, and things like that. I have this cute little notebook that I've been using to document my pregnancy. And also because my memory is so bad right now, y'all. So I had to write some things down so I could, keep up with everything. Okay, so first things first, I found out relatively early this was not an accidental pregnancy. But, and I'm not going to get too deep into this right now. Maybe when I've built a little bit more from the experience, I'll be able to talk about it more if that's something you guys would be interested in, or if that's just something I will be willing to share. But last year I did lose a child, and mentally that loss, I tried multiple ways to not get over it, because I don't feel like you get over something like that, but tried to cope. And I had for months been so accustomed and used to the fact that I was going to be a mother and that I was going to have a child, and that was just my new life. And after I lost the baby, just not having that anymore, there was nothing else that could fill that hole. So my partner and I did decide, after a few months and after I was healed and everything, that we did want to try again for another baby. And I don't expect anybody to understand that, because it's really nobody's business to understand. But that is what happened. So it was not an accidental pregnancy. I knew what I was doing. We knew what we were doing. We tried for a couple of months. So the first time I thought that I was pregnant, my last period was March 12th. The day before, I had gotten a positive pregnancy test or whatever. We went to the doctor and all of the tests were negative. We were very confused. I guess we just learned that our test was defective, so that was pretty heartbreaking. But I mean, after trying, that was kind of like our, oh, this is going to be our last time for a while. We'll just focus on our health and getting together mentally still, and we'll continue to try again in a few months. So I got my period the day after the positive pregnancy test, which was March 12th. I made an appointment with the midwife just to talk about, make sure nothing went wrong, because I did have a procedure for the previous baby, make sure nothing went wrong with that, and just that everything was fine. She was really sweet, and then we just went about our lives. So I had the false positive March 11th. I got a period March 12th. It lasted for about 3 to 4 days, and then that was that. Fast forward to April 9th, 2021, me and my boyfriend and my mom, my dad, my 2 younger sisters, and my younger brother, we took a trip to Ithaca, New York, because my brother is going to college there, and we just wanted to explore the city a little bit, see where he was going to be living for the next 4 years. And we tagged along, me and my boyfriend tagged along with them, because we were always down to go on a trip. So at this point, my next period was supposed to start 4 days before that, so April 5th. Yeah, April 5th, I believe. My period was supposed to start. I was supposed to get my next period. And I have been calculating everything on... Okay, let me rewind. Let me bring it back. Okay. During the time after I missed my period, I was like, I'm going to just try to check my ovulation, because something's telling me, and me and my boyfriend talked about this, that the apps are wrong when I'm supposed to be ovulating versus when I'm not. Because like I said, we tried for like a month or 2 beforehand. So I got ovulation kits, and I started trying to track my ovulation, and I ended up figuring out that, oh, I'm gonna be ovulating the basically the ovulation time where I actually was going to be ovulating and the time the app said were two completely different times. So like, oh, we've been doing it wrong this whole time. Like, I'm not actually ovulating when I'm thinking. So that's why shit ain't working for real. So we got the ovulation like sticks that you pee on and they tell you when you're going to be ovulating, or they're like stronger basically, closer to your ovulation date. And yeah, so we looked at that. But like I said, we kind of weren't trying like that anymore just because we're kind of disappointed. And like I said, I was still upset about everything. So, I mean, we were just like, if we don't focus on it, maybe something will happen. But we were also just like, we'll focus on our health, on our careers, our hobbies and stuff like that. So fast forward to April 9th, I was supposed to get my period. And I knew that from the app, and I had changed the app settings so that it matched what the ovulation date said. So I was supposed to get my period like 3-4 days before, and it never came. But I'm still thinking that don't mean nothing because my period has been kind of weird. Like, my period hadn't been that consistent. It's been consistent, but it wasn't like it was prior to my first pregnancy. Like, it had never re-regulated itself. It was just, it came monthly, but it wasn't like, oh, every 25 days is this, like, it wasn't like that. It just was, it wasn't irregular periods, but it wasn't how it used to be, because my period used to be consistent, same day of every single month. It wasn't like that. It was consistent monthly, but not how it used to be, if that makes sense. So I'm just thinking that it don't really matter. It'd probably start while I'm on the trip. Like, I had packed and prepared for all of that stuff. And I had packed with me, I had bought a bunch of those little strip tests from Amazon. So I packed a couple of those just to be on the safe side because I like to know shit. Like, I like to know what's going on. So just to be on the safe side, I wanted to know. And I had bought those a while ago, like I said, because we have been trying. When I said we've been trying, like, I also was drinking fertility tea from Pink Stork. I had started taking prenatal vitamins, just, you know, trying to get my body ready. Because I wanted things, if I did end up pregnant, I wanted things to go the right way. So that night, April 8th, me and my boyfriend were like, maybe I should take a pregnancy test in the morning. It's just for fun because I haven't got my period yet. Woke up in the morning, took a pregnancy test, and it was positive. So I took a second one, came out the bathroom, showed him, you know, we had our little celebratory moment. And honestly, all throughout the rest of the trip, I was very tired. And I felt nauseous because we were driving around a lot. It was a lot of hills and mountains and stuff, but it was very early. Based on like the app and stuff, I was probably like, I think I was like 4 weeks and a few days. So I found out like the earliest possible that I could find out, which was fine. And like I said, I had a little test strip. So we went to CVS while we were out there and got another pregnancy test, one of the, like the digital ones that says pregnant, not pregnant. And that also said pregnant. So I had a lot to go off of. I immediately, you know, I was still taking those prenatal vitamins. So I kept taking those. I did some research and got some better ones that I feel like I liked a little bit better. But yeah, we kept it between ourselves the whole rest of our trip. I called as soon as we got back and made an appointment with the midwife that I had seen. And because I had, like I said before, I had a bad experience with the OBGYNs that I had talked to. So I wanted to see if going with the midwife would be a better situation. So I made an appointment with the midwife, and we had to wait like, let me see. So I found out on April 9th that I was pregnant. We couldn't have our first appointment until May 20th. Like, I understand that's normal maybe around here, but that was the longest wait of my life. I was so anxious and so nervous because all I could go based off of was I had a positive pregnancy test. I didn't know if something happened in between that time. Like I said, you don't really understand until you go through it, but after losing a child and having a traumatic experience like that, like, you're always gonna be worried, and you're gonna be worried anyways when you're pregnant because you're pregnant. But after losing a child, it's just like, wow, I'm always overwhelmed, I'm always on edge, I'm always stressed. So I had to wait until May 20th for my first appointment. The longest few weeks of my life. I think I was 7 weeks. Was I 7 weeks when I had my first appointment? I think I was like 7 or 8 weeks. I don't remember, like I said, my memory is bad, y'all. Yeah, so we had to wait. And in between then, like, guys, I had the worst morning sickness ever, okay? Like, I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't drink water. I could barely stomach my prenatal vitamins. Like my morning sickness was so bad. I would throw up like 3 to 4 times a day, if not more than that. Sometimes I would just be throwing up stomach acid. It was just a horrible time. And like I said, couldn't drink water. As soon as I would drink the water, it would come right back up. Worst morning sickness ever. I was so tired. I would take so many naps throughout the day. I would go to bed like 7 or 8, sleep until like 10 or 11. I was exhausted. Like my fatigue was bad. I was always tired, always low energy. Some other things that I experienced, I was also like dizzy. I had some lightheadedness. I would bloat. My sense of smell was so increased. Everything smelled so nasty to me, which also contributed to me throwing up as much as I did. Everything smelled gross. It was, ugh. Even thinking about it now, I'm disgusted. Even things that weren't supposed to smell gross, it just had such a strong odor. I could be driving in the car, be like, oh, somebody's barbecuing. Or I could be just like walking into the door, I'm like, oh, the cat used the bathroom. Like I could just, ugh. So that was gross. And my boobs, Jesus. They swell, they get bigger, tender, and stuff like that. That definitely happened to me. So yeah, those were some of my symptoms. So May 20th, I had my first appointment. The baby, we heard its heartbeat. I know what the gender is, so I don't think I'm gonna say what it is yet. But yeah, okay, so we heard the baby's heartbeat. It was 160, so that was really good. And I just felt so much weight off my shoulders hearing the heartbeat, but I still wasn't out of the woods. Like I just was still worried, still nervous. Yeah, so based off of what happened last time, we did opt to get genetic testing as early as we possibly could. So we made that appointment, and then a couple weeks later we did the genetic testing. We just got some blood work done. Well, I just got some blood work done, and that is how we found out the gender as early as we did. The baby is said to be completely healthy. It doesn't have any signs or markers for any genetic problems or issues or anything like that. So that was really, really reassuring to hear, but still me, still worry all the time. But that's just part of life, I guess. We did find out the gender. We found out the gender on, okay, so my genetic testing was done on June 1st. I got it's either called an NIPS at my doctor or NIPT, but they draw your blood and then your baby's genetic materials are floating in your blood so they can test it that way. So we had that done, and then June 7th at 3:33 p.m. we got the call that the baby was healthy and what the gender was. And then we've had a few appointments since then. We had the ultrasound where they confirmed the gender, and we saw the baby moving. The baby was kicking and just moving around a lot and moving really fast. So it was just so good to see that the baby was healthy. We did tell both of our parents before our first appointment. We told them when we were like about 5 weeks, and our families were very excited and supportive of us. And then we told them the gender the same day that we found out, so on June 7th. They were also excited about that. And they both sets of our families have been very supportive and just encouraging, helpful throughout this pregnancy so far. So we really appreciate that. And then we've had another appointment with the midwife since then, just to hear the heartbeat and, you know, make sure things have been cool with me. And my next appointment is July 15th. I don't know if this video will be up before then or not. And then have an ultrasound July 26th. And that's the anatomy ultrasound to make sure everything's okay. So fingers crossed about that. But yeah, basically that's what it is. That's what it is right now. So yeah, that's how I found out. That's how we found out. Those were my early symptoms. I'm trying to think of what else happened right before. I kind of knew that I was pregnant, and I also knew I knew I was pregnant. I knew what I was having, like intuition. Like I knew what I was having the first pregnancy. I knew what I was having this pregnancy, and I knew I was pregnant before I found out. It's such a blessing to be pregnant with a healthy baby, especially after certain things that I had to go through within this past year. So I'm just taking everything day by day. Pregnancy is not easy. The first trimester was not easy, but we keep it pushing, we keep things moving. I'm so excited. I'm not going to film actually right after this my first trimester experience video and like first trimester essentials. So you'll see that shortly after this video goes up. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. This video is kind of all over the place. So hopefully future editing me don't get too confused. Yeah, I really like my midwife. She is very like personable, like she has good bedside manner, and she also answers all of our questions. So she's really cool. But yeah, it's been a pretty good experience so far, other than the first trimester morning sickness. I am in my second trimester right now. Like I said, I do have a lot of content planned out for you guys during this pregnancy and after I give birth and everything. So hopefully I can be consistent, because like I said, I've been tired and I have no energy. But I'm really getting better, and I hope that I can push this out for you guys so we can be on a journey together. But yeah, that was it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on your post notifications, because I promise I'm gonna be posting more, y'all. I promise. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.